taking line of sight, and FlyQuest got full held in their last encounter against 100 Thieves at this point. FlyQuest needs to be aggressive and not hesitate, but you also don't want to get pulled by the Bucky and walled off by the Groot. That's the sort of neutral win condition and why 100 Thieves are playing out of sight, out of mind. They'll kind of surprise you, pull you in. Still hasn't been much connection as the Groot walls are exchanged, as 100 Thieves are in a dilemma, forced to use the domain regen of this Loki to keep themselves up, and Terra was in dire straits, but manages to get out, not before he's pulled back in by Energy, and finished.
Wow, Energy getting that pick there on Terra was massive, able to get some momentum building for the team. And as you said, the Lantern's already down there, forced to use the ults to get popping. Cooper trying to get some momentum going early. Energy getting that Kraken impact is going to pop it right away. They do have an answer with SJP as it already rolls up TTK with the Meteor M and Delin with the Legendary. So they're going to have a big response to what's about to throw down.
Galactic Legend and the critical Guardian Shield from SGP to save the double kill. Oh, the cherry on top for the fight of 100 Thieves, but what a placement of the invisible boundary, allowing this defense to recontest while not being seen.
And really, the only response is going to be Delina. They have no strategist ultimate even close. So they should easily close in on the distance here for this final push. And this is what you want to see if you're FlyQuest.
There's the Galactic Legend from Delina, countered by the invisible barrier, and that means he just will not be entering that zone, and FlyQuest will keep themselves safe, but that's maybe a good ult exchange that 100 Thieves are happy about. The Strangling Prison on the attack, plus the Kraken impact from Energy, but somehow good protection from Terra, and this puts the fear of FlyQuest. They step back. Meteor M on the offense eats this damage, but Gasklin got no help from his team. He was below half health. A response from 100 Thieves to take advantage of taking down one of the Vanguards as the front line crumbles, and FlyQuest are cracked like an egg.
Oh my on using, and they didn't even have to use much to respond. And now in return, Harvey's out of his ultimate, but SJP locked and loaded, ready to go, and they still have the Vinny and TTK, the Groot and the Magneto ult, which has been lethal throughout this entire Invitational.
Oh no, the pass may repeat itself. Less than a minute and FlyQuest could be full held, and you got the ult advantage. Strangling Prison, a Meteor M, and if SJP feels uncomfortable, the invisible boundary. FlyQuest getting close to their own ultimates. It's up to Light, and he doesn't even need the ultimate to shut down some of these Vanguards. A beautiful wall setup from Spark Chief, but can they spark themselves a fight win? Light is pushed back by the invisible woman as the invisible boundary from Zelos provides some critical healing. FlyQuest taking this one step at a time, but they gotta put pedal to the metal, and it's Light that unleashes the Meteor M from TTK. Isn't fully held, doesn't need most of that damage. 100 Thieves, they're backed against the wall. One duelist down. Harvey does copy some strategist ultimates to stabilize, but this offensive Strangling Prison from Spark Chief, they're throwing everything at 100 Thieves, and the Kraken impact from Energy is just enough to tilt the scales. But you haven't wiped 100 Thieves yet. They're still around contesting, but this will finally...
Curve up here, Lemon, that they have stopped almost every opponent on this map at this curve. They've let them get the first point. We've almost seen that each and every time, but never can they get past this curve because the spawn's so close there for 100 Thieves.
Delina's getting so aggressive, but also getting pulled in by Zelos. An amazing job by the invisible woman to dictate the space, dictate the pace, but it's traded. You have 5 versus 5. Invisible boundary from Zelos will force 100 Thieves back, not wanting to fight in that island of death. And FlyQuest even have backup shot at the ready. Light has to be in position, but also be careful of SJP.
Yeah, Vinny here about to trying to open up the opportunity to prison. They're going to see potentially they're going to wait for a fall there. Again, they have a couple of TTK, but on the opposite side, Fly there is going to take a huge hit. A Spark Chief goes down to TTK, a massive quick hook here, and they're forced to back up, rotate, and reset. And this is about to be the ultimate fireworks. There's plenty to go around. Guys, it's about to be a light show.
This double pull from Terra and SJP is just ruining Spark Chief, and maybe this time he'll actually enjoy it because he has a Strangling Prison with 100 Thieves name on it. Only 1 minute left though, and look at Delena getting aggressive, and it's the Galactic Legend by 1%. Light will outrace the duelist, but a Guardian Shield from SJP keeps Delena still kicking, and Light gets pulled in by the Bucky and still has not fallen, Cozy.
Yeah, fantastic use also of the Lanterns. Those are off cooldown now as they're pushing in, trying to get an important pick to get the things rolling. And Harvey's going to get that pick with Zealous. Massive to get things rolling for them, but Light going to respond to Delina, taking out one of the biggest threats from 100 Thieves. And at this point, they have plenty in the arsenal that can go with the Kraken impact. And there it is. We've got a Cooper ult. Was that a prison?
I saw Vinny with the prison too, just after all the strategist ultimates were exhausted and energy survived. FlyQuest, they flew, but how do they finally defeat 100 Thieves? They just seem unmatchable. It is a galactic legend from the defense. Delena can't see much around the corner in the invisible boundary, and the dominoes fall. FlyQuest, it's overtime. They're getting some progress. They have the space. Delena's flying back, hopes to rejoin the strategist, and things are getting hectic. You got the portal in from TTK. They have not given up.
Even with these spawns so close, TTK going on the high ground this time and trying to mix up a little bit of their defense. Insane approach there as the Lantern's been used. The Lanterns cannot protect a huge clutch pull from Terra. Taking down Light. Vinny taking down Gaskin. 100 Thieves picking up right where they left off. And it is looking rough, although we do have another portal coming in from Fly. Keeping the momentum going. Energy pops in, switches to that Strange, getting things going for them. And there it is. We've got Vinny with the ultimate. The Kraken impact landing down. Terra getting the 1, no 2. And Terra and 100 Thieves get the point.
Oh, what a time. They are experts at this. Pressuring already FlyQuest back. Remember, the neutral fight is about the Buckies pulling, the Groot walls coming up. That's why there's such a distance between both teams.
Absolutely. Here as they're closing in, we're looking at Cooper to be the first one up with the ultimate, but Gaskin getting the important slow down pick on Terra, and that is going to cause a massive shift in momentum. Gaskin now looking to take advantage of the aggression, moving in, trying to get their tanks to push out and make space of his own, doing great in a massive class as a Vanguard.
You just can't play aggressive at all as a Star-Lord. You're either getting pulled by the Invisible Woman or by the Bucky. So these Magneto bubbles need to be on point, and these Vanguards are starting to suffer from 100 Thieves. But if anything, it's building a support ult charge. They round the corner. Walls are down. A pull on Spark Chief is going to put him in a dangerous position, but Gaskin has his back.
Yeah, absolutely here. And they've got plenty in the tank with strategists, but they're going to have to really get the ult rolling as Harvey is getting things rolling up right away here. And there it is, the ultimate galore. The spice is coming, and who can get the first pick from it?
It's the Vinny strangling prison versus the invisible boundary. It's the dunk on top, put away.
Oh.
Only one fell. A chance for FlyQuest to come back, surviving, but are they thriving? It's all up to energy to dwindle what's left of 100 Thieves to set them packing. And he's got the reset, a third one to go.
100 Thieves kind of realizing that fight was going to be lost, so they have plenty in the tank still in terms of what they can respond with early, and that's what it's all about. There's 1 minute and 55 seconds left. Fly doing a great job, though, and a huge difference from the last time they played.
What? How did he just pull Vinny there? What the heck? And you got the backup of Delena to push forward on this, and this Galactic Legend is crazy. You have FlyQuest hiding. You have them cowering for the first time this round. How do they break out? It's all up to Light as they emerge. It is Light that unleashes, but Terra's dealing with everybody else. Limited members left on the FlyQuest side. This defense will not be be able to live much longer. FlyQuest take too much damage in the neutral. That could be popped even early. It's such a good stabilization ultimate as Delena senses some low members, goes for the spin to win, forces out the invisible boundary. Now the strangling prison could be huge from Vinny, and as soon as FlyQuest step up, they go straight to jail, and Terra will make sure there's no lock-in key. FlyQuest are down, and they'll have one more chance to clap back in the final fight for the map.
Yeah, huge pull. We've been seeing some go-go gadget pulls from these Buckies. I mean, it's insane with what they're able to pull out. And honestly, Gaskin there, unfortunately, getting pulled out of that ultimate and getting that pick early just set them up for success. Looking at Fly, they've got plenty to respond with, though, here, Lemon. You can tell. They're ready to go. Delena, though, getting that early pick.
No, the strangling prison got thrown. The FlyQuest weren't ready. Meteor M and Delena has to get out of dodge. Will live and have the health pack. And Zelos and Cooper actually copies the invisible boundary. Tries to help FlyQuest get a moment to breathe. But 100 Thieves have the defense running away from their own convoy. And it's TTK that has more than enough. A Meteor M needs some of this damage. Energy has to go hero mode. And it's not gonna be enough. FlyQuest are falling like flies. They had the invisible boundary, but it's up to keep the few meters still alive for FlyQuest. Respawns may be close, but this comeback is too far. 100 Thieves take map 1.
My goodness, this is the blockbuster finale that we've come for in this grand
Approach from the FlyQuest side. Remember these Star-Lords, how aggressive do they want to be? It's the timing of the Magneto bubbles. You also have 2 pulls with the Bucky and the Invisible Woman, but the triple strategist from FlyQuest is actually not going to have a Bucky, so a lot of survivability from their side.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, Terra picked that to just close in on the Adam Warlock. The Resurrection's so good to shut down with Bucky. We saw it attempted to be a counter yesterday, and there it is. We already have the Lanterns going down for... Wow, that's early from Audio, so that's going to be a huge ability to get the result and snowball on here, as well as trying to get an early pick as well. And right now, the momentum is for FlyQuest as they get that pick on Vinny. Terra going down as well. Yes, a little bit of a trade there from SHP to Audios, but Light is not playing around as they get that first point with dominance here on Domination.
And even though you're only running thing, I guess that he is. And Galactic Legend ready with even Invisible Boundary. If FlyQuest want to take a step back, it's up to 100 Thieves to see if they'll want to match that. First, it's Light unleashing with the Galactic Legend. The shields are out from 100 Thieves as they scatter, and even the Loki crystals to survive. But Terra's ready to respond. Kraken impact in, forces the Invisible Boundary from Cooper, and 100 Thieves lose Delena, lose Terra, and will lose this fight.
Oh no, and also popping ultimates in the meantime. SJP getting up that boundary, and honestly, huge hits there from Light, even with the Lanterns up and the clones. That was a massive pick on Delena, overextending maybe just a little bit on that fight. Obviously huge in their flank routes, but was a little bit, in the way of harm. Now Light pushing in wants the full aggression from them, and it pays off with staggering. And we've got a Clobbering time in response from Vinny, but able to escape, so there's been no benefit, Lemon, from the ultimates on 100 Thieves side.
Yeah, 100 Thieves quick to the trigger, and I like that press from FlyQuest. Forcing out one ultimate, 70%, and climbing. This could be one of the last fights, depending on if 100 Thieves, of course, portal in at the last second. That could be a swap that happens. And you have Harvey popping the Invisible Boundary. I believe in the pull into Light to get him into the Invisible Boundary to slow him before he could escape. And the 1-2 knockout on Cooper. But the Resurrect's coming in. Zelos popping the ult. Everybody back in the picture. But that's just more to fodder for Terra. And now they drop back in. FlyQuest still haven't given up the capture, so 100 Thieves are going again.
Yeah, Terra sniffed that ult out perfectly, but they were able to pull it out in time, get the ult going, and there comes Light trying to capitalize on it. I mean, Terra played that as good as you can, and Terra's still playing perfectly as he takes on Spark Chief in a massive pick, going in with the Kraken impact there, being a huge bully. And right now, Domination is all on FlyQuest. They've been the ones who've been playing it. They're comfortable, as we can see, but 100 Thieves, they're right at home as well, as Terra rolling in, snowballing in, and even though 99%, we have 100 Thieves taking that point over.
Wow, Terra and Delena did so much work to win not only one fight, but two, and a massive Zelos ultimate that bought them another fight, but this also got FlyQuest to 99%, meaning one fight away from winning round 1.
Yeah, and on top of that, Fly used a lot of ultimates there to try and get that point secured through the end, and unfortunately didn't come through, so we're going to have probably a better response here from 100 Thieves. It could be even a couple battles away until we get that point again from Zelos, from FlyQuest there. And again, this is where they're comfortable, though. FlyQuest wants to be here. They love domination with this res comp. They don't need Mantis. They actually forced it. I think it was the ban they wanted, as Harvey has the copy ready to go as we kick things off. Zelos going down first.
Wow, just the poke war is huge. 100 Thieves need to be critical with this damage and focus, because there's 3 strategists, a lot more forgiveness on the FlyQuest side, and this is going to force them to back away. And that's good, because FlyQuest don't want to give up more time than they can, and also more ult charge to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, funny enough, too, this is actually where they lost FlyQuest on this map, specifically on Burnin yesterday, because of Zelos and just timing out that passive. As we see, didn't have the passive to pop back, get with the team. They're going to have to reset here going in, but they have plenty to set up. They have the combo maker of Clobbering time, and the follow-up of Gasket will be right after it.
So much AoE damage is going into FlyQuest 2, and it's between the 2 Clobbering times, and Spark Chief with the 3-man CC as 100 Thieves try to keep themselves up, and it's Harvey that pops the first strategist ultimate. All of 100 Thieves are alive and well, and you can't say the same about FlyQuest, not when there is that terror on the field. But Zelos with the ult, another fight that 100 Thieves have to win. They're happy, though. They still have the point capped, and they're getting close to the 0 to 100 comeback, Cozy.
Yeah, absolutely. They tried to set up, did not get the picks they wanted, and 100 Thieves responded absolutely perfectly, as we do have the Kraken impact coming down from Terra, but Light getting a huge pick on Delina. Keep in mind, we still have the passage reset for Light, but Light closing and doing what he does best as that Star-Lord, self-proclaimed best in the world, taking down Terra. Now Harvey, and it's looking like they'll be able to clean this up. We might get a last-minute strange portal, but overtime, ticking. Lemon, will they get back in time? It's gonna be close, and Light showing the dominance, showing the confidence here as they take the first bit on Burning T'Challa.
Light is the hero waiting for that invisible quest. And 100 Thieves, they got the rocket.
Yeah, love to see the switch there. And again, Audios, we do have Delina, though, popping the ultimate early, hoping that there is no strategist ultimate to counter, and there's not. There's only the lanterns that kept everybody alive briefly there, and it was enough to keep everybody alive through that legendary. That's a massive momentum swing as they push in. Cooper now ready to rock and roll with the boundary. They're going to definitely use that to the advantage. Passives on lockdown, too. This is Fly's to win.
We'll see. We know how important that first fight is, especially for a map like this. And it's a collaborating time from Spark Chief. That's CC2. Harvey with the invisible boundary. He has not fallen. This team will not trump. And 100 Thieves, TTK claps back and gives space for Terra to operate. And FlyQuest somehow have managed to fall despite having the triple strategist. 100 Thieves are just deadly like that in these high tense scenarios.
Now, who needs ultimates? You know, it's like, I guess I just set them up ready to have some a little bit priority there. They just did it the old-fashioned way with the core abilities. Love to see it there. A great job, as now they have everything to kind of go in their favor. Now, they only have Harvey for the defensive ultimate with SJP playing Rocket, but they do have the forgiveness of the BRB device there as the next fight is commencing now.
And 100 Thieves are allowing them to walk in. They just don't want to get jumped on. Now, no clobbering times, but one galactic legend, the Meteor M, to soak up a lot of that damage. And Delena fires back after seeing Light in the open. The iframes can only buy you so much time. But the invisible boundary, no other targets really for Delena to go for besides manage the low-key clones. FlyQuest mostly fine, and they'll have res for Zelos once he pops that as well. It's going to be an uphill battle for 100 Thieves unless Terra can dismantle 100 Thieves once and for all. And especially go after someone like Zelos. The pulls from Harvey haven't gotten anyone too fruitful, but 100 Thieves still have the point capped, and the Kraken impacts. At least Terra looks like he was about to unleash that. Vinny has the clobbering time, and they're pressuring FlyQuest back.
Wow. And honestly, want to give a shout out to an unsung hero in Gaskin, keeping Light alive. In fact, the whole team keeping him alive because they were close to Lina, getting yet another pick there. Fantastic play altogether. And unfortunately for Terra, was able to reset there on the clones, but then with that lantern out at the perfect time. That was a great play there from Audios, who again subbed in for these domination maps to set them up, and they do have some ultimate advantage here.
And that's 76%. It's going to maybe take an extra fight even if you win this one. Harvey, invisible boundary against Cooper, trading that out. Zelos holding the revive of the Adam Warlock for the perfect time. But wait, Gaskin's a little extended forward, so jumping in, Spark Chief has to get involved. But they walk into the clobbering time of Vinny, and FlyQuest overstep, trip over their laces, and have gifted maybe this fight to 100 Thieves. Zelos has brought back at least 3, but Terra, he's been insane, and if anything, you're giving more ult charge to 100 Thieves who have already capped over, and FlyQuest now cannot give up on fighting.
Now be born again, come back to life, we don't care, come at us as they just burn down Spark Chief there. Vinny playing lights out now, putting the early aggression here on Gaskin, trying to get him down early. Gaskin going down close, Gaskin being taken down from Delina. Delina putting the team on the back with plenty of support as he's pushing in, getting them to spawn now, and this is going to be it here as there's just nobody to get on the point.
Round 3 between these two teams on FlyQuest's choice of map. And for 100 Thieves to figure out how to extend. Maybe that revive could be a factor, but what's really deadly and lethal is Delena and Terra. How much damage they're able to apply at all times, even with the triple strategist. 100 Thieves are just so resilient in these moments, looking for pulls, looking for hooks out of this. Oh, Bucky, and Gaskin gets his meteor blocked somehow. Response by TTK. The Vanguards from FlyQuest are low as they just try to protect themselves on the point, and these are 2 strategist ultimates out of 100 Thieves to take this very important first fight.
Oh yeah, unfortunately there, Light was trying to be patient with that ultimate. Hold on now though, Fly Spark Chief going on a tear here, getting the double kill. Super important as the pass is able to bring back a lot of FlyQuest back into the fight. We do have the BRB device taking, getting the limit into things, but Harvey going down as well. And Fly, they flipped the script here on a perfect point capture. I mean, this was a thing of beauty as they're just finishing off the job on Vinny. Gotta say, great job there on the patience for light. They knew TTK had the answer in the Magneto ult to counter them. Tried to bait out the strategist ultimates, but everything came at the right time with those resurrections.
Adios. Popping the invisible boundary. We don't get to see that action. Zelos is on basement duty, I guess, and 100 Thieves. Galactic Legend. As soon as FlyQuest step in their path, I thought there was going to be a response, but 100 Thieves are just on retreat mode. And this is weird to see, but FlyQuest may have overstepped. They've really overextended. Spark Chief is found. The weakness sought. And Deletta, the Galactic Legend, to end it all. Zelos will bring 4 back, and FlyQuest are not done yet.
Yeah, from down in the bottom there, so they're able to heal up, and this is essentially a brand new fight here. Obviously, the pass is going to be gone. The disrespect, though, with Gaslit getting Deletta eliminated, but Terra trading in return. SJP bringing Deletta back, but the BRB is now gone. But yeah, you never spawn camp 100 Thieves. The disrespect there, insane as they were able to respond early, but Audios gets a huge pick once again. Deletta going down.
Oh, it's just now you have a 5 versus 5, but this extra damage from SGP's ult is what tilts the scales back in 100 Thieves' favor, and they had just capped the point during all of that chaos. They still have to catch up in the score, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean, this map is great to push into the spawn point there, but 100 Thieves, they're like, come at us, all right? We would welcome you to come in, as they had the complete sweep in the opposite direction, and they already used the Born again, so that's very tough there, as Audios is the only thing with a little bit of ultimate support. Spark keeps getting close to their ultimate, and honestly, Harvey is far away, and TTK, so they won't have any defense response if they can quickly get something going here, but 57% towards them, giving them the favor as the fight's closing in.
Vinny's going to be important to thing. This is an arena for this hero on the point. As soon as you get close, you got haymakers to the face. That forces out the invisible boundary from Adios. Loki copy, giving a chance for FlyQuest to zone off 100 Thieves. And Spark Chief with the clobbering time of full team CC. And in case things got hairy, FlyQuest were able to revive some people thanks to Zelos. So 100 Thieves will be giving up the point.
Yeah, really, that was the story of the ultimates. The only thing available was the Audios copying an Invisible Woman, and that was just such a huge edge that they could not respond to. Harvey was still far away from his. That's the problem with picking Rocket at times. But at this point now, it's going to be reset. The ultimates are going to be back over to 100 Thieves' favor. But that was huge as Gasland set up massively on the setup from Spark Chief's clobbering time.
I like that FlyQuest are marking all areas 100 Thieves could be pushing from to limit their options. But FlyQuest may have spread themselves too thin. Oh, Deletta and Terra work the front, but wait, FlyQuest are back from the grave. This is the power of the Adam Warlock and why FlyQuest are so good at this composition. The invisible boundary from Harvey and support for 100 Thieves to flip this, but FlyQuest are taking a fight within the enemy invisible boundary. It's 99% for FlyQuest and steps away from tying the series.
Yeah, Terra's having to come in here with the portal, trying to get that extra help, and if anything is going to repeat itself on this map, it's fine even if they lost this because they have plenty of time with the ultimate advantage now. Spark Chief, though, making sure they don't even need that fight as Zelos taking down Terra, coming from that portal. BRB bringing them back. Terra just trying to get something going. Audios will fall, though, which is a massive pick here to close out this point. TTK getting the wrap-up, but there's the clobbering time with the perfect stop from it, though. But no, Fly gets the eliminations. Gaskin taking out TTK on the trade. Cooper with confidence. They're feeling great.
And even when you eliminate one strategist, Fly still have 2 more. When things get hectic, FlyQuest just sustain longer than 100 Thieves, and overtime will dwindle. And 100 Thieves, even with the Aya of Agamotto and everything else, FlyQuest managed to push it to the end and take map number 2 to tie ourselves to 2-2-2 for FlyQuest as they're presenting with the Doctor Strange. Not using that portal quite yet to maybe try and flank from behind off the rip. They're going to use that to just get back to the fight quicker, maybe on the second round.
And we're getting a little Bruce Banner action with the Gamma team-up. That's awesome to see from Spark Chief. They like this comp here with full aggression. They knew that they were going to get a little Wolverine action as Fly gets an early pick on TTK with a beautiful pick early on the offense. That's massive on this map. Charging up that claw, unable. Great wall there. And unfortunately, Vinny blocking that off. But the aggression is on maximum. The gas is all the way down as they take down Vinny as well. And Fly They're looking great going into the first point here. Very hard one to cap at that.
Yeah, with TTK teams, I mean, we casted a draw on this map. That's how hard it is to attack.
Yeah, that's an absolute perfect. That's exactly what you want if you're a FlyQuest fan, FlyQuest teammate there. As we have now 2 strategist ultimates ready to go, and they have more momentum that they can pull together there with a nice hook and escape. But no, Terra goes down even through the passive, and everything's on launch for Fly. They're going to be patient, though. How much ult do they have to use to get things rolling?
Just so many good pulls from Energy. They were able to eliminate Delena. They start off this fight on a good note. It is revived by the Rocket, and now the damage boost from 100 Thieves, who respond with a pick of their own, but Zelos doesn't have the same revive, and Gasklin cannot escape. And for 100 Thieves to win a fight at this point of the map is huge. It's tough to go through these choke points for FlyQuest. We'll see if 100 Thieves even let them out.
Yeah, Vinny, though, I can't wait to see more Vinny on Venom, and he's got himself the ultimate ready to rock and roll. Honestly, everything's at stake here. It's about to be absolute fireworks. Here comes the light show, as I like to say, as Gasklin trying to get a little pressure early on Terra. They see him. They know what he can do, and this is going to be a big-time ultimate play and fight here.
Yeah, damage boost from Zelos is going to force his Wolverine to back away. Wait! And it's Light this time that has a tackle. And defensively, 100 Thieves looks stable. With this Hulk, you just got to wait for the bubbles. There's a second light from the Hulk as well. Spark Chief will be back. Banner form activated. And the Eye of Agamotto pushed away! That was insane from Harvey. And even with the invisible barrier intact, 100 Thieves were more than happy to face Gasklin.
Yeah, Gaskin barely getting into that boundary to get healed up and saw the opportune time. It was a great time for Agamotto, but they didn't account for Harvey being Harvey and pushing away a honestly momentum changer there. Beautiful play from Harvey. That's what you love to see.
So far, so good from FlyQuest. Damage boost from the defensive side. What a read from Energy, forcing out the Goddess of Death. And all eyes shift to Delena, and even the Doctor Strange shield in the face. Wait, Delena gets back down, still manages to get an elimination. Advantage for 100 Thieves. Light has to make magic happen, and it's a Light show with the Wolverine ultimate, catching TTK, ripping him limb from limb, and even the res is coming from SJP. FlyQuest still have a lot of tempo that they could push through.
Yeah, great rotation there from Gaskin going into protecting from the Hela, and that forced everyone to push up, and then Light was able to ult into that to create even more space, but 100 Thieves doing what they do best. The BRB device was used, and they're able to reset, and so they did bend a little bit, but they did not break.
Oh, FlyQuest having to constantly reset is really killing their time. But they're already having a better offense compared to the Yggdrasil Path Convoy, and marking where Delena is critical. FlyQuest can't afford to have a random pick, and these headshots are deadly. Light has to be careful.
Yeah, Delena trying to go for those cheeky angles that we've seen over and over, and this is going to be a huge setup they can use with Vinny if he can pull off this ultimate at the right time. Though TTK going down is a massive loss right away, but the BRB device coming just off cooldown, but Delena in the back going crazy on the flank.
Yeah, the flank was huge. Of course, out the invisible boundary from Cooper, and that means the Wolverine ult from Terra went in, but FlyQuest, they just shut it down immediately. Terra walked into a trap, and FlyQuest still has some kick in them, but they have limited heals with just the Rocket. Gasklin makes an impact on the front lines, but this Venom is so annoying to deal with, and just making sure that Light can't roam for free. There's some protection, but Light is gonna need some help on this Wolverine, and this could be the best fight for FlyQuest coming up.
Yeah, I think I was jealous early there. That was huge. Sparky does trade and gets rid of the Rocket and the BRB device. Sparky also going crazy on Harvey, taking up both strategists. Gasklin closing the job there, and Terra getting the portal out immediately, ready to do the double block of portal. They're gonna have to go through the multiverse to get to this point in time, sticking through as they're trying to stall, trying to do what they can here. Delena getting a crucial pick on Cooper there, but Spark Chief eliminates Delena.
You just don't see Spark Chief on Venom every day, but 100 Thieves still have numbers and manage to still contest. Gasklin's getting in position for the Eye of Agamotto once 100 Thieves do flood in, but the lead on the flank is still annoying, and Vinny enables him pressure into the back line. FlyQuest are set back. They don't have Zelos. They only have Cooper heals. FlyQuest need a beat to breathe.
Yeah, absolutely here. And at this point, you know, we've got pretty good ultimates in play here for FlyQuest that can get the job done. Gaskin, though, he's nailed Agamotto's all tournament, but this is where it matters the most in the big ones. But Energy getting the huge pick. TTK forced to use the cloak of levitation, goes up. And Sarah, though, trying to get rid of the back line. Spark Chief going down. It's a mad loss.
Oh, the damage boost too. This Wolverine is lethal, but FlyQuest also have revives thanks to Zelos, and Cooper's invisible boundary is forward. The Eye of Agamotto hits 5 out of the 6 of 100 Thieves, and Harvey saves the day with his own strategist ultimate. Now Terra tries to rejoin his defense, bring a Vanguard along with them, and there's only a few seconds left. It's overtime, and Terra, a 3-man TC with the Wolverine ultimate, and Delena with all the pins alive, going for a strike. 100 Thieves have snuffed out the life of FlyQuest, denying their capture of Point B.
No, my holy Stanley. I mean, the insane, fantastic ultimate from the strategist of Harvey there, keeping everybody up, because you had not only a...
Energy to come online with this to keep Delena humble, to keep him in his place. And the pull down, Gasplin easily levitates back up, but that is the win condition as Terra looks for pulls. Vinny is also starting to capture. This forces someone to drop down. Gasklin is now getting tossed up. He's going to need some assistance. He still has a healthy shield as 100 Thieves try to address so many problems at once while maybe creating a distraction. Delena has done very little damage at the start, so maybe trying to find a position. Meanwhile, Energy's on the high ground, just ruining everyone's day. He's going after the strategist. Finally, Delena creeps out from the shadows to deal with Delena, but Energy will be back thanks to the res. 100 Thieves just don't have gas in the tank to keep this going.
Yeah, and they got the pick there on the rocket, where they got the pick on the Hella. Doesn't matter because they got the BRB device, so obviously huge pickup there from Light. Great pick. That is so hard to nail that shot as the Hella energy into the rocket, and they're able to now have that aggression, and they're going to have the ultimate advantage. Cooper will have some ultimate on lane. They have the 40% damage ready to rock and roll. This is about to be insane.
We see up close and personal, Gasling getting ready to use his Eye of Agamotto, building up to the right energy to do so. Delena's on the flank. How did he get back there? He's so silent, but then he roars, and you have Energy flocking back. That is 100 Thieves. First take going for the second. FlyQuest will be able to recontest. It's the Eye of Agamotto at the ready from Gasklin. Cooper, though, helps them reestablish some real estate with the invisible boundary. And you got a clobber tap for Vinny, and CC's too. Light's in trouble, still survives. Goddess of Death is popped. The reses on the side of FlyQuest. This defense just does not falter, and 100 Thieves are getting tackled by this Wolverine. It's just not getting any better for 100 Thieves, who have not been able to really pull the trigger on their terms. There is still equal numbers as 100 Thieves haven't given up.
Ooh. Yeah, huge Eye of Agamotto there, allowing Delena, whose aim is just transcendent since the last match. But Light responds alongside Gaskin immediately to TTK and Harvey, flipping the script yet again. And then we've got, oh my goodness, Delena going up with the ultimate just to survive. That was a huge, they're going to want that one back for sure. Delena and Terra, they're doing okay, but Light's out for Light right now, and the response from hitting their ultimates.
And now that Spark Chief is on the Hulk too, like you have that second light, now you have the Hulk ultimate, like it's just gonna take forever. It's a marathon, not a sprint for this offense of 100 Thieves. And that marathon is being cut short. Only a minute left to get something done, and they don't have an immediate ultimate to set up. But I look towards Vinny, who's gonna be charging up that clobbering time, but it's the Vanguards that you have to go up against, and it's not gonna be easy. These Hellas can also make a difference. Energy versus Delena, but the stun hits Delena, will be brought back by the Rocket. As the damage boost is available, SJP waits for Delena to be back into the equation so they can subtract FlyQuest.
Yeah, my goodness. Energy just making Delena one of his minions as Hella there. I mean, goodness, Goddess of Death play has been insane. Gaskin here, ready to rock and roll, has the eye again. We've seen massive eye hits time after time, and he's able to get it right here. Here it comes. Can he get it? There's a 4-piece. They're going to try to capitalize most of them, though, within that boundary, keeping everybody alive. Huge play. Unfortunate there for FlyQuest, but Energy doesn't matter. He's making Delena pay the price.
That invisible boundary was insane from Harvey to counter that eye, as you said, and 100 Thieves, they throw everything at him, but Energy is letting it rain. It's dividing, it's conquering 100 Thieves. Terra's off the map. He took Cooper with him. That's one strategist down, but Zealous, that's still kicking, and seconds are left. It's overtime for 100 Thieves, or FlyQuest will go up in the series, and Light, he can do it all. He's also got claws in your eyes, and 100 Thieves have to race to keep the overtime wick burning, but no cigar. FlyQuest, take a map.
Showing charisma. Hold on now. This is something we've not seen. The DPS Jeff is out, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of serpent turf with both Light getting the pick into the audios. This is something new. They had something in the back pocket for round 3. Are you kidding me?
Is this serious? Is this real?
Wow.
Like, nobody does Jeff. Everyone, like, the ban is usually a throw. If you're doing it's just the bubbles, and he's sticking with it too. All right, we'll see if this pays off. Now the jig is up and you got the cap, but can you last with the Jeff heals? Light is gonna spin while 100 Thieves falter. The bubble and Light will stay stable.
Yeah, a couple things to highlight, too. This is a great Jeff map. You can swallow them up, spit them out. A lot of edge room to spit them out on. Also, if you don't know, Luna is going to give Jeff the ability to use a lot of slow with that Chilling Charisma team up. So massive advantage there for Adios, but they don't lack a defensive ultimate there, usually in that replace of Rocket. Here we go. We've got the fight commencing right away as Cooper is going to get things started. And Adios is getting close there to his ultimate. And this is already a bloodbath with 35% 40 now going over to Fly. And all the ultimates for both teams unlocked.
Yeah, you're just gonna have 4 Fate of both worlds, but Light now is on the flank. Meanwhile, you got a Meteor M, you got Adios, who's got the Jet Ball. Who knows how many people got caught up in that? But meanwhile, you could also just try to remove people from the fight. Wait, Terra and Vinny were kidnapped by Adios. He'll sacrifice himself to confirm those eliminations. This is just the first Jeff gameplay that we've seen in pro play. This is insane.
Guys, it's Mufasa going to the wildebeest. I mean, he just takes them, jumps down, and eliminates him from the battle. And that is what I thought we would see from Jeff. Not only do you have that team up with Luna, but you also have the fact that they're able to get the environmental kills, which could be a perfect trade. It's okay if Adios goes back. He can get to the point so fast, but their tanks, it takes a long time to get that slow walk going.
Adios is still lurking around, and he's so hard to shoot. Oh, until TTK gets the pushback in the CC. One strategist down, though. Cooper left to keep... Cooper and Zelos left to keep FlyQuest around, and they still have the point cap. It could be 0 to 100 using a Jeff. Don't write this down, folks. The 100 Thieves don't have no ultimates. They just have to flip on. And how can they against the strangling presence from Spark Chief? Oh, the first game win with a Jeff of all things. FlyQuest truly are innovating.
This is, I hate to say it, cinema again. Like, how do we not say it? The screen is melting. I love it. People are losing.
That 100 Thieves have to check. They also have Terra on the Wolverine, who's doing the same thing on the other side, but sort of exposed himself to poke, and he has to dash back to the team. The passive from the Wolverine of Terra has already been popped, so we'll have to take a step back, and it's Vinny that gets aggressive looking for the prison, but now all the strategist ultimates are out. Vinny has to wait for his moment as Gasklin takes advantage of the extra healing. Meteor M on the dome of Deletta. 1 down, 5 more to go for FlyQuest.
Doesn't use it on the supports, instead uses it on Delena, but Terra says not if I have anything to do with it. A massive response in the Wolverine ultimate, taking out all of them and able to get a convincing first cap there. Great job. Gaskin did rise up to the call and got the pick, but unfortunately there's nothing you can do when Terra's going on the full berserker mode of Wolverine.
Oh, Terra. I was worried when his passive was popped out that early. And also Spark, and then Vinny's still waiting for the moment to use that strangling prison, and just with all the strategist ultimates out, surely this is the guaranteed fight win for Vinny.
I just can't believe that Satan's greatest soldiers out here, Jeff. I mean, it's insane that we've seen the memes, we've seen the jokes, but here it is. And Terra going with the immediate kidnap to Gaskin. Gaskin having to do the self-bubble. It's not enough. Oh my gosh, the damage focus as Light's trying to go back in on the supports behind. Does take down Harvey. Big pick there on the Loki. Dodges a beautiful roll there. Light says he's the best in the world. He's starting to prove it here. Taking down the lid as well. Adios collapsing on the Magneto, who's forced to self-bubble. Can't use it for the supports. Gets the pick as well. Jeff going crazy, and the team is doing great.
FlyQuest were just so proactive as 100 Thieves waited for the perfect opportunity, and not just any, and the patience not paying off in that moment. FlyQuest have a flip. Now you got 2 strangling prisons, but more to worry about for Vinny this time. Strategist ultimates have been built up, and I'm not going to count Jeff's, and Alia still has that trigger to pull. He had a double elimination last time. Who knows who he's going to take now?
Yeah, that's the plot armor I was talking about with Light. I mean, it's like, did you see the dodge? It was so freaking perfect there, and this is just at his best. He's feeling great. Again, vibes and violence, as I like to say here with Star-Lord, putting in the mixtape and just having a good time as they close it immediately. The prison coming in here, and they're going in right away with the Adios getting the swallow from the Jeff, but not going to get anything out of it as it's just pure chaos here. But no Scarlet Witch. 100 Thieves closing in on the triple. Can they get another bang? There's the 4th, and they're going to have to reset as now they have 55% on the point.
Terra's so good with these ults too. And the Strangling Prisons exchange, but only one team still lives on. And you have the Loki copy available. Adios not able to kind of remove enough people with the Jeff ultimate, but Gasklin needs to be huge with this Meteor M and target these supports.
Yeah, absolutely here. And if we're looking at the, again, the ultimate, there's an advantage for both teams. TTK, though, this is going to be a huge meter in for him to hit. As we're going up right away, Gaskin going to be the first one up for the call, up for the hit, and there's no connection there. But Lantern's going down early. That's a key ability to go down. And look at them, just bowling. Adios getting the Luna out there, the perfect freeze there. Harvey swapping, hope we're getting that Luna ult on. And this is the call and answer to that Adios Jeff that we saw.
Such a good adaptation, catching Adios, and you got the Fate of Both Worlds damage boost to push into the rest of FlyQuest until Light tries to turn the tables. Galactic Legend in the air. Spark Chief looking for the moment, Strangling Prison, and 100 Thieves are caught with the healing of the Loki doppelgangers plus the clap of SJP. FlyQuest could never get reestablished.
Yeah, funny enough, too, that's the hardest map for Jeff on. They're bringing him to the point here, going right away at each other. Harvey getting the close down early, but there's the slow coming to effect. He's just putting so much pressure, having to burn the lanterns right away, and Sarah having to back into them. That's a huge ability. They can now force that pressure even more so, and they've got the ults to follow it.
So far, good pressure with the Loki, and you got to deal with those doppelgangers too, or this is just going to be insane levels of healing. You've got the Fate of Both Worlds popped there by Harvey, the Strangling Prison on top by Vinny, as Adios tries to separate the fight, has kidnapped 4 people of his own team, actually, to save them.
Wow, you gotta love it. That is when Adios is coming in as the hero, keeping it. I mean, that was a spectacular play there, and he was actually spinning them far away. Didn't need to go to the edge. There was actually 100 Thieves in there, but that's fine. He was pushing them far enough. They didn't want to go for the environmental kill. Wasn't needed at that point in time. And just like that, gets the huge backflake here. Look at the pressure he's putting up from behind Lemon.
Yeah, with the colors, I thought he was taking his own team, but hey, just kind of nullifying that fight is still big. You got the Fate of Both Worlds from SJP, Strangling Prison from Spark Chief, 100 Thieves look alive and well as Delena, the moment to slam, and welcome to the Delena Jam, as FlyQuest will be a set behind from this moment, trying to stall out to the 40%-ish mark, and 100 Thieves can all thank Delena for that.
Yeah, they needed to win that fight because they didn't hold anything back. They did empty the bowl. They had everything ready for it. If they didn't win that fight, it could have been pretty scary. But luckily, they got that secured. 100 Thieves back against the wall. They have been here before, but not in this tournament. And so it's interesting to see how they respond here. Terra's got the Snowflake and has the passive. So he's going to be incredibly hard to take down as they are now going to be having this shift. I hate it when this happens on the map. Shifts happening. Ready to reform, regroup. Here it is.
Now, coming out the front door is Terra. Ready or not, Terra's trying to take you with them. Good Magneto Bubbles to try and deny some of these tackles, but keeping FlyQuest in their way. And Terra will go back to the team to regenerate as Vinny looks for a Strangling Prison. Cooper with the counter of the Fate of Both Worlds as the Loki crystals were already used. And it's Harvey that copies the Fate of Both Worlds as 100 Thieves get aggressive. Adios! Takes a few with them! Oh, he got eliminated. The jet bolt got canceled, Cozy.
Yeah, that's a big play there from Vinny, getting that splash damage to get him down from the walls. 100 Thieves now really taking over with a beautiful double kill, but Light getting the swap, but it's not going to be enough as Venom is doing great. The Vanguards are locking things down. Jaws is ready, but unfortunately they were even more ready to shut it, harpoon it, and move on to the next fight. That was awesome.
100 Thieves getting close to the end of this map to tie our series with the Wolverine ult and the Strangling Prison. This is just so much CC as TTK brought dangerously low. Doesn't want to give that opening to FlyQuest. Spark Chief ready for his Strangling Prison. Once separated away, and Gasklin in trouble. Meteor M's back to safety. Kicked off whether FlyQuest are ready or not as SGP eats the Meteor M. Not enough damage. Fate of Both Worlds out. Delena with 3 and 4 and looking for the ace. And no choker left. FlyQuest behind. Overtime dwindles away. And 100 Thieves are close to tying our series.
Wow, unfortunate damage on the Luna. Instead of the healing, it was just done. It was absolute crazy perfect.
And either the strategist or a duelist, that's going to be annoying.
Yeah, this is going to be a good Adam map for the Resurrect. There's a lot of places for the Adam to hide, get the cheeky res out, and stay out of the main team fight. TTK rolling things immediately. That Magneto is not going to be up for grabs. Vinny is very comfortable on the crude on this map. Getting the huge separates on those strategies is huge. As the big claw comes in early there from the enemy. 100 Thieves pulling in Spark Chief, and now getting immediate pressure. TTK having to back out Lemon as the fight is commencing and the ults are building. And right now, going to get the slight edge. So 100 Thieves getting light pick. That's massive, but he does have that passive.
What a wall too from Vinny as they got the pull from Harvey. And yes, Light will be back. But it's just when it rains, it pours. 100 Thieves know how to just keep adding it on when FlyQuest are hiding. And now that you have flank pressure with a Psylocke, it's going to be even harder for FlyQuest to have a sturdy backline.
Yeah, the BRB device is now offline. They're not going to be able to use that for a little bit. And on top of that, Light did use that passive, so something to keep in mind. TTK getting a little bit of spine going on with that portal, and now it's on cooldown. Could that come back to bite him? We'll find out as this next fight's about to commence. Heading into it, we do have Cooper and the energy with the ultimates. That's going to be plenty of support to keep their team alive. And again, Light's going to have to do all the heavy lifting as that duelist role.
I have Agamotto from TTK hits Cooper and Zelos, and there's just no invisible boundary that could erupt from that. And this Vanguard frontline is bulldozing FlyQuest, and Light tried to save the day with an Eye of Agamotto, or not an Eye of, a Galactic Legend, I should say. The Dance of Butterflies was maybe not even necessary, but Delena wasn't sure who was still alive, who was being revived, and just stops any chances for a FlyQuest comeback.
Yeah, I hate that. I really don't like that passive revive there from Energy. Wish we would have saved it there. Honestly, this is exactly what we saw from Fly against Envy. They used Gasklin on the Agamotto to shut down Adam. There's no room for the burst healing, and it's the best way to shut them down. Look for that for TTK on these future matchups. They're taking a page from Fly's book whenever they face Envy as they're closing in here, but we're going to have the ultimate favor going towards for this next fight a little bit on probably Fly.
The Strangling Prison from Spark Chief, and 100 Thieves are in trouble, and they have the invisible boundary pop just in time from Harvey as FlyQuest are still choosing to fight within it after placing Cooper's down. They stole up 100 Thieves from their safe space as Gasklin just won't stop. He was getting aggressive for an Eye of Agamotto, and he gets punished. At least you trade, as Delena wanted to be aggressive himself, revived by the rocket, and the fight continues.
Stay with me, born again. There it is, and we've got the Agamotto coming out, and unfortunately Gaskin not being able to get the follow-up he wanted. Delena getting the huge pick. Gaskin going down twice there, and Terra with just the one swoop of the 3 pick. Bam! There it is, picking up where we left up on the domination map of Hell's Heaven. That could not have gone better for 100 Thieves, and unfortunately there was a lot used to try to commit to that fight.
So many revives from FlyQuest, but once those were all exhausted, you had the Strangling Prison plus the Kraken Impact, and Delena on a rampage. He's going to flank Demon, and now has even more options to escape and also stealth on the Psylocke instead of the Hela that you may have expected. But it is 100 Thieves approaching that final capture. You need to step up, and it's the Mantis ult that's all FlyQuest really have in the bank until the Spark Chief Strangling Prison comes online, and Light could have the Galactic Legend, but it's the trigger ball of the Eye of Agamotto plus the Dance of the Butterflies from this offense. Light tries to break 3 off the invisible boundary from FlyQuest. This defense just can't hold on. There's just too much offense from 100 Thieves and no space to work with from FlyQuest. The res still means that FlyQuest can fight forever, and the Strangling Prison wasn't enough to turn the tables for Spark Chief.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Cooper just getting that ult just a little too late there, and they really committed with the Psylocke going in there as well. Delena, you know, it's hard to tell who got the pick bans that they wanted, but right now it's really looking like 100 Thieves got exactly what they wanted. Delena doing a great job to shut down what has been the biggest difference maker in Light in his sole role as the duelist. And right away here, they've got all the momentum to close in on the what's left of this map on the last potential fight here.
That's so scary, like the time bank that 100 Thieves have right now. You see already the X-ray of Delena already pressing the back line. He was quick to get an assassination last time, so FlyQuest have to mark this flank at all times while Terra waits for the ultimate combo, the Strangling Prison Kraken Impact. This was what broke down the fight, but maybe 100 Thieves want to bait out more reses. They got to track these cooldowns carefully, but it's FlyQuest up first. The first pick on the Vinny, who inked it for a good Strangling Prison, and Zelos with the damage boost was just enough for FlyQuest FlyQuest to ward 100 Thieves away.
What a crazy turn there. They got the prison coming from Vinny. They got actually the look that they wanted perfectly, and just the bam headshot there from Energy. We saw that from him on Vernon T'Challa. We're on the Wakanda map as they close and get a huge pull early on TTK. We've got Yagamoto coming out with the push out too to deliver, and they're using the Kraken impact to get the kill there on TTK, and it's about to snowball lemon.
The energy pull, the Eye of Agamotto right into his own team. But FlyQuest, this was all their plan. And they're pushing into the 100 Thieves spawn, and momentum have shifted towards the defense. And they're cycling this so well. FlyQuest also still have Strangling Prison and the Wolverino coming up.
Yeah, Cooper with the push right there to match Harvey's that we saw earlier. I mean, that was an amazing push to keep things at bay for FlyQuest. We have Sparkchief ready to go. Light has his... Oh, he's got the ultimate to use here. Will he use it? We got the walls going up. No, he just shred. Oh, no, it's Terra though on Sparkchief. And Delina taking out Cooper in return. BRB device used.
Yeah, and Sparkchief's back, but the rest of the team has fallen. So what a good kidnap though from 100 Thieves. Some time taken away, but the finish line in sight.
Yeah, great job. And I like the switch here from Light. I think this is going to be a good job to finish off the map here. Star-Lord obviously working on other maps, but they did have the answer there with the Psylocke. Dylan staying on that pick, though, as they push in for the final fight here. Vinny lock and loaded with the prison, and Terra with the huge kidnap.
Oh, Cooper is down, and there's a CC. Terra goes for the entire team, and the paycheck, too. FlyQuest caught completely off guard, wanting to play off of a Strangling Prison, and they can't even use the damage boost that Zello left behind, and no one to contest. A minute 22 locked in by FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. Listen, I just space the push here. We've seen a similar strategy.
FlyQuest have energy so low. A great finish by TTK, and Zelos will bring him back, but that's a cooldown. Exhausted as Sparkchief hasn't been too aggressive. They just wait for the tackle from Light, and he gets the Hulk bubble too, which is big, and it's a kidnap. 100 Thieves could not save, but they still have the rocket cooldown. Vinny's back in the picture.
And Terra's going to want to pop this ultimate right away. I mean, they know that they don't have a response to it, so we're looking to see if that Kraken impact makes an impact eventually here. As the Sparkchief, I think, having to redo your comp there in the mid-battle is always tough, but they're rising up to the same comp that did them well on Wakanda.
It's just been such good progress from FlyQuest, and you have the invisible boundary too. If they set that in deep, like 100 Thieves are not going to have really any space to play with. And taking the Groot, this is just the worst person. Vinny has nothing to protect himself with as a Groot enjoyer. Wolverine is just your biggest enemy, and with the invisible boundary from Cooper, you just can't even see the L coming. 100 Thieves are going to dance with Delena and hope to retake this, but it got capped in front of them.
Wow, great kidnap there from Light, and in general, the Kraken impact from Terra, got nothing from it, and then they were able to really capitalize from that. That's exactly what you want to look for after getting 3 points on your own turf here, as they're going to be pushing the point early. The fight's going to commence right away, and we've got only Fly Energy there with the ultimate to start things off.
Kraken impact. They're trying to find where these flankers are. Now there's only Delena to worry about, and Light just gets to control the pace of when they want to take this fight. There is a Psylocke behind them. Delena's back in. You got a CC. 100 Thieves save themselves with an invisible boundary and pepper in the damage boost of SJP. They'll be back at full force as TTK could be setting up an Eye of Agamotto, and FlyQuest are playing as far as possible because they got to get this Psylocke out of their backline.
Yeah, absolutely. Gaston, though, getting awfully close to it as well. And Terra closing down Sparkchief, getting rid of Bruce, having a huge setback there. Is also able to bring back the Hulk. That's what they like in this game plan. That's what they want. We're about to have it, literally an Agamotto face-off here. Who lands the better ult?
Who's going to utilize these flanks? A good pull, and Eye of Agamotto from Gasklin. That's probably blocked by TTK. He's playing that forward, but he got the picture, or he went for it as Energy went for a Kraken impact, and Terra was trying to match that as well. Both teams are left with a 5 versus 5 with no rocket reses, and a pull from Terra. He makes it happen again.
It's funny. I mean, the roles were reversed there. We had Vinny with the clobbering time, but then Energy got the pick, but unfortunately was unable to get the rest rolling as they took care of him very quickly. Terra here ready to have the impact. Arby closing in on his ultimate, and Cooper, though. Cooper with a clutch invisible boundary to keep everybody up if things get bad here.
And this is such a tough choke point to get through. Just not a lot of cover. FlyQuest can maybe take some of this high ground, and it's Hulk has to eat all this damage. Spark Chief has another life, uses the ult to just force 100 Thieves back in to keep Spark Chief in the picture. As again, Cooper with the invisible boundary could set up a zone for FlyQuest to operate behind. Depends if Harvey will trade, but it's Delena and Terra with duelist ultimates. They need these targets though to get low. You need that initial damage. Dance with the butterflies first, invisible boundary to counter, and Terra can let it all rip once this all expires.
Yeah, BRB device taking that Gaston is going to be huge there. First time we're seeing Monster Hulk in a long time, and that's important as Gaston is going to have to push back from the pressure. Light going down, that's going to be the pick that does it. That's all the firepower behind the team here, but Energy can still help and get something rolling as he gets a beautiful hook line and sinker on Psylocke, but it doesn't look to be enough, and the slowdown from the Monster Hulk was great because when he pops, you have to put all the focus on him, ensure he goes down, and then you go from there.
Oh my god, and now Delena's farming. Uh-oh. This is just even more time away, and FlyQuest have been really stifled at this moment. Cooper saves the day, negating both duelist ultimates with just one invisible boundary. Terra was never able to reset because just FlyQuest are so damn healthy.
Keeping just enough space there to get the poke damage on. Not going to get clawed. Delena doing great. We've seen it from the positioning from Delena time and time again, and showcasing why Psylocke is such a great hero within Rivals, although we have not seen her a ton. Looking into the fight here. Wow. Harvey with the light kick.
This Light is trying to make plays going on the high ground. You gotta worry, there's still two hook characters with Bucky and the Invisible Woman. And FlyQuest are constantly reset. They're trying different paths of rotation to the high ground and around, but Star-Lord is still very squishy.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying different comps, different positions. After that first point push, it's been all 100 Thieves from here, and it's going to continue to do so as they have pretty much every ult ready to go. Delena in that Dance of the Butterflies is going to get the value that it needs here. But again, here we go. Eye of Agamotto. Who's going to get the shield up in time?
You don't even need ults. It's just the neutral is so strong. With Terra hitting back-to-back headshots every pull in the game, FlyQuest can't adjust their own pace because the pace is forced by Terra.
Yeah, here's the thing. Oh, wait, no, there's no thing. Absolute just headshot destroyed, and there it is. We have 6 ults ready to go. There it comes. This is going to be quite the light show.
Yeah, good luck to us. Good luck to the viewers. Good luck to FlyQuest because there's 36 seconds left. And 100 Thieves could have a defense of a lifetime. And it's 100 Thieves just playing as passive as possible. The approach to Spark Chief close to the clobbering time. But it's Light that carves through Delena, who is setting up for the Dance of the Butterflies. And FlyQuest protects 13 with the invisible boundaries exchange. FlyQuest have exhausted a lot from 100 Thieves already. And they clobbering time to set 100 Thieves back even more.
I mean, huge fluff to get the finish. They did massive clobbering time. Obviously, there's another fight to come here in just a second. They're going to have to push. But here's the thing. Obviously, 100 Thieves is going to have a lot in their arsenal. They have 2 combo setters. We're going to see the clobbering time into the Kraken Impact. And they've got the Agamotto ready. But Gaskin can be the hero here.
One last touch from FlyQuest. You have the Eye of Agamotto, the hits from Gaskin, the backline with love, and 100 Thieves just don't have a lot of healing. They do have the damage boost from SJP, and it's overtime that dwindles away, and you don't have energy, you don't have light, and you don't have damage. If you're FlyQuest, it's just about extending the game for respawns to come in, but 100 Thieves are that much closer, and that much closer to taking the series. What a defense, and what a map from 100 Thieves.
Once again, an Invisible Woman to get things going. And already we are having some Lantern play, which is massive when it comes to it. The pressure from Spark Chief right away and is taking out SJP. A great spot, but Terra responds on Gasplin. Lemon.
And yeah, the Loki Crystal's not enough to save this backline. 100 Thieves just full sent it and just couldn't worry about their supports. They just had so many problems at the front. And then energy, you can't forget about all the heads he's taken off and the angles that he does. There's so many problems to solve and almost just so much time for 100 Thieves to do it.
Yeah, during that intermission, Energy getting a quick practice there in the aim labs, just trying to get that. I mean, we saw picking up where they left off there. Now, keep in mind, Gaskin had to use that. Looks like there's a portal there used, so one of those on cooldown right away as things get started here. Now, Harvey does have the ultimate to give them a little bit of momentum, but it's going to be all defense here from Fly as they are locked and loaded with 2.
Right, Delena versus Energy. As Energy just sneaks up on Delena. And, you know, we had the X-ray, but now Energy gets to go on a flank. And you have the invisible boundary from Zelos. And this is going to protect the point for a moment, as friends from the 100 Thieves side still have to stabilize when they don't have duelists.
Ooh, a lot bad happened there. You've got Delena going down from that pick, and then we have the Harvey using that invisible boundary. That's a huge cooldown. That's going to hit every single one of those magic pellets into Wolverine. Into, I mean, just a full fist of them.
And Vinny's now on the Venom, and this is just a way to quick gap close, maybe get behind, force FlyQuest to have to 180, turn around. And we'll see that, and even just try to pressure the high ground. FlyQuest are taking angles from all sides. There's even a Hulk beating down the back line, but there's so many low-key side quests to go through. This is the moment where FlyQuest are behind. You got the reset from Terra. He'll be involved. Cooper, though, did copy the invisible boundary, but SJP places his down as well. So 100 Thieves can still tango as an Eye of Agamotto from Gasly gets beautifully blocked by 100 Thieves off screen, and Terra is still a terror. And this Goddess of Death has had no effect for the defense. Light will try to take flight, but the double elimination is not enough to salvage this defense.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, Sparky's tried to just jump off the map and not get the Kraken impact. There's the monster coming out. TTK forced to use that Eye of Agamotto and just burning down this punk monster Hulk. But they are able to get back to the fight a little bit as Light comes back as the Wolverine here, getting the touch, getting the pressure, allowing everybody else to get the pull. But honestly, this is going to be a little bit of ult feed. They get the point. It's done. And a great response. Vinny going with the dive character to match the Hulk and get the equal pressure onto Fly.
Well, look, I mean, Vinny and friends are still diving in. They have an advantage, and 100 Thieves are definitely going to keep pressing. And now they have Delena in a forward position. Gasclight's going to get staggered too. Respawns from FlyQuest are around the corner, but this is so much free progress for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Spark Chief going over to Venom now because there was a great swap there from the group to the Venom. We have matching Venoms now. The symbiote face-off that you guys came here for. And right away, that's a lot of free real estate that 100 Thieves is going to get from this matchup. We've got Harvey with the ult on lock, and Kraken Impact will be coming out any moment. But luckily, Zelos does have the answer with the boundary. We'll have to see how these ultimates shake out. That's going to tell the tale.
And Vinny can force out the invisible boundary. You would definitely take that trade of the Venom ult for Invis. And FlyQuest playing as far back as they can. And meanwhile, trying to find where Delena is. This flank pressure has been really good for them. Now the Vanguards from FlyQuest are trying to push through small quarters, and it's leaving this front line, or this back line of FlyQuest exposed, forced to use the invisible boundary, and it was just Terra using the Kraken Impact, and 100 Thieves have more in store.
Yeah, perfect comms there to get the ult up in time, but Harvey able to trade with Gaston is just a major turn there as they are feeling comfortable as they're going to push in the remaining of this point, still holding on to a couple of ults. They played that great. Fly did the right job, but unfortunately, a little bit too much commitment there and ended up going down.
So much free progress for 100 Thieves, and finding this flank is really gonna hurt FlyQuest's chances on the comeback. You need a touch from at the last second from this Venom, but with the Goddess from above and the Loki crystals pop, like FlyQuest are running out of good options. At least Gasklin was able to block some of this Goddess of Death energy and damage. The invisible boundary from Cooper is an island of safety for FlyQuest, and now that gives space and time. Spark Chief will get brought back to full health, and maybe FlyQuest can have some time to breathe.
Yeah, Agamotto's coming in any second. Oh, and with the huge stun stopping Spark Chief, he's going to get picked off here and used all their efforts to take down the Venom Pest, but he can get in the fight pretty easily back. Cooper disappearing, being the god of trickery, but goes down to Vinny. And can the energy get enough pickoff here? No, cannot. And this is going to be a wrap on this point of the map. And they did not even have to use everything they had in store. This is going to be a tough hold.
Yeah, and you might question these Eye of Agamottos from TTK, like what, once on a Hulk recontest and then another on just the solo Venom, but these are heroes that take forever to eliminate, whether the second life from the Hulk or even the health ability from the Venom to just be so difficult to remove. So I like 100 Thieves want to end fights quickly, because that's the worst about 100 Thieves from FlyQuest. They sustained forever, they reinforce, and it's all about time at the end of the day. 2 minutes left for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, you don't always need the highlight reel, right? Just sometimes the most important pick. We're seeing it right there as Terra is going for the highlight reel as they get the pick on Gaskin. That's going to be the massive front pressure in the cooker for FlyQuest. And down, Delena takes down Spark Chief, the hero you just said was hard to take down. Energy does trade with Terra, going to give them a little bit of space, but they have to back into a room for safety, going to give more space up for this payload.
The Invisible Woman's so pivotal as SJP pulls the Venom before they could web swing away as Delena gets comms about where energy is, and that's the information game between the two. And look at this pressure. You have Vinny lurking behind FlyQuest, forcing them to have to deal with that problem, and the cart is approaching its destination. You gotta see Gaskin hit this Eye of Agamotto, and it's Cooper with the invisible boundary, and just from above, from the top rope, SJP and Vinny are stunned, but the invisible boundary is still keeping 100 Thieves healthy. It's now Duck Hunt. You deal with the Venom. Crack an impact from Light. He's on 2 HP, and he can't keep resetting. 100 Thieves have the finish line in sight.
Oh my gosh, Delena took that map of Wakanda personally and just absolutely have been on a tear here, giving it to the players. Fantastic play from every single role on 100 Thieves. That's a tough map to push in. They got 3 points for. Let's go. We got the Iron Fist on lock, who can be a great hero to get that pressure on and get the early damage. Now changed, recently buffed to be a bit of a tank buster. Going in from the side. This is going to be great as we're going to see probably a bit more of a dive. We have Spark Chief diving in as the Hulk right away, and we've got immediate pressure from TTK trying to back up, get into that room I was talking about earlier, the safe haven where the spawns can be there for Harvey to get the health up.
I guess FlyQuest are just achievement hunting at this point, really showcasing all heroes that we have. But the issue is that this Iron Fist is vulnerable to poke, and look at his response. 100 Thieves are playing as far back as they can, keeping their backline in check as Gaskin steps up. He's removed, and Cooper will keep the party going, copying the Luna ultimate, I believe I heard. Either way, it's strategist healing. It's FlyQuest in your face. It's Terra that has to go for a Kraken impact, but he just got Hulk stunned by Spark Chief, and he's alive, he's awake, and you can't say the same about FlyQuest as their vision fades to black.
Yeah, they got to get out of there now. They got to reset here and not let Terra just go on a roll, and he is going on that roll. What a time to bring out the Iron Fist and the freaking grand finals, everything on the line. Terra's going for 5, 6, 7, trying to break the record here as Delena getting a part of it as well. They've got to slow things down. There's 2.5 minutes left. This is just mayhem at this point, and it seems just chaos.
I think Energy blew the Mantis ultimate in a 3v5, and maybe revives coming in. Things got really chaotic, and FlyQuest do have closer respawns, so even at a deficit, they can keep trucking, but this is worrisome.
Yeah, this is the house I was talking about for Harvey. He just hangs out here. He loves it. I've seen this now time after time for months now from him. Great play there as we do have same comp going in. We're going to get the pressure early. Gaskin cannot get the early pick here. We're going to see if they can achieve the same result.
Spark Chief has the ult, so he can just keep going. He's gonna pop it just in time to set up Gaskin. The pins for the Eye of Agamotto, but it's taking too much time for FlyQuest to develop. That's given time for Delena to flank, and well, Light will kick him in the face, but there's just not enough firepower for FlyQuest, not enough members to keep this going. They zoned off 100 Thieves for 2 ticks, and they only really need to zone them off for 1 more to get the payload going. But there's only 90 seconds left, Cozy.
The disrespect of the poll in there for Spark Chief, not even letting himself get himself out of the battle. Love to see it. Yep, a minute and 20 seconds potentially here. Only 1 tick to go. And this is going to be as close as you get. We have plenty of ultimates on line for both teams. And honestly, 100 Thieves is set up for so much success here. Zelos, look for him to get picked. If he goes down, the fight is theirs.
Gaskin still has to get the approach. And how can you? You're already down to strategist, and now too. Terra is truly the terror. And FlyQuest, the silver lining is that they were eliminated quickly, but less than a minute to spare. One of their last chances to get the ball rolling.
What we just saw there on Midtown, they didn't even need to use any abilities. It just rolled after Cooper getting picked. That was a massive early pick there. This is it. 40 seconds on the line. Every ultimate to play. The light show is about to happen. Here it comes. Can they come up? Can they rise to the moment?
The light show, though, it's looking pretty dim, and this is chance with his ultimate to have a little bit extra kick, a little extra oomph and light. He'll lead the charge, literally, with his Vanguards following up. The Loki crystals are out. TTK could easily levitate into them once those Loki crystals are out with the Eye of Agamotto. And wait, the push away. Gaskin gets nothing with the Eye of Agamotto, and FlyQuest have 12 seconds seconds. They cannot falter. It's the Mantis ult for energy. They gotta survive.